Alright guys, so the last essential plugin that I recommend for basic beginners for WordPress is called Better WP Security. Okay, now there's nothing more aggravating and annoying than putting all this work into a blog just to have something go wrong and someone mess it up for you. Okay, that's not something you want to experience. So we want to make sure that our blog is as secure as possible. So we install a free plugin called Better WP Security, and there's a link to the right of this video for you to download it. And once you have it downloaded and installed, you will see the security button right down here. We're going to click on that. And first thing it says is, do you want to make a backup of your blog? Just in case something goes wrong, you should make a backup of it so you can always go back to the backup version. So that's a great idea. So create database backup. Alright, and that is complete. It's going to send me an email with my backup file. Okay, no problem. So this is the dashboard for Better WP Security. Now they have a feature where you can go through all these tabs one by one and customize the way you want Better Security set up. Or on the dashboard, they have a one-click protection where you can actually just turn on all of their basic securities they have in place. You can hit this one button and it's going to activate them all automatically. So I'm going to do that. Okay, then it gives me a little rundown here. Okay. And as you can see, all these things are in different colors. And at the bottom here, we can see the items in green are fully secured, and I don't need to make any changes with those. The ones in orange are partially secured, and I need to turn on some more options to fully secure those. The ones in red are not secured, and I should secure those immediately. The ones in blue are not fully secured, but may conflict with other themes, plugins, or operations of my site if I were to secure them. But I don't have to worry about those, okay? So blue, we're not going to worry about because I don't want them to conflict with my website in any way. Green is fully secure. Orange, a little bit, and red is the worst, and we need to take a look at red instantly and get that fixed, okay? So let's take a look at the red first. Your admin user still exists. So this is telling me pretty much admin is always the name of every single WordPress blog. The admin is called admin. And we should change that. You should change that to a unique name that nobody knows, because if they know it's admin, it's going to be easier for your site to get hacked. So you click here to rename admin. Okay, and it takes me to an option where I can change the username from admin to whatever I want and then change that username. Okay, pretty cool, right? So I do that. Let me head back here. A user with the ID 1 still exists, and that would be admin as well. So you click there and change that to a different ID as well. Now that alone is going to stop a lot of hackers if they don't know what your admin username is. Pretty cool, right? Your table prefix should not be WP_. Click there and rename that. Okay? Your installation is not actively looking for changed files. So what that means is, if you click here to fix this, that means this plugin will always be searching your files and looking for any kind of sudden changes. And if something changes, they're going to email you and let you know what changed and see if that was you that changed it. And if you didn't do anything, you know something fishy is going on and your files are getting changed without you knowing about it. So we need to get that fixed as well. And then once we have those reds taken care of, we can go back to these oranges and fix those as well. They all have a click here to fix button. So it's really easy to fix whatever issue there is, okay? And that's the only thing I do with this plugin. I make sure all of these are green or blue, okay? I don't want any oranges or reds, and I don't mess with the advanced settings. It's an amazing plugin. It really secures your WordPress blog, and like I said, you need to do this, especially if you put a lot of work into your blog. Make sure it's secure. Okay, that's the number one thing. Make sure it's secure. You don't want anything to happen to it, or no hackers or anything like that, okay, guys? All right, so the first essential plugin that you need to have on your website, and that every single website actually should have or does have, is called Contact Form 7. Now, there's all kinds of different plugins that do this exact same thing. They allow you to create a contact form for your visitors to contact you, but this is by far the easiest that I've ever worked with, and it's by far the most popular. And I will put a link to the right of this video with a link to the Contact Form 7 download so you can get this very simple. Now, I've already installed this in a previous video. I have it here. We're going to click on the contact button, and it takes us to the dashboard of the contact form. Now, by default, one's going to be automatically created, and that's perfectly fine. We can go ahead and work with this one. So you're going to click on Contact Form 1, and by default, this contact form, it requires the person's name, their email address, the subject of their message, and then their message, and then it has a submit button. And that's the most basic kind of contact form. Over here on the right, if you want to add more content to this, on the right you can generate tag, and you can choose what you want to add to your contact form. You can have a file upload section to your contact form. You can have a quiz. You can have radio buttons, checkboxes, a date, a URL, whatever it is. It depends on what your website is and what kind of information that you would like to collect. Now let's assume, so I can show you how this works, let's assume that I'm going to allow them to enter a URL. Maybe I want to know what their website is too. I'm going to click on URL. Let's scoot this over a little bit here. Now, do you require this field? Do you require them to put their URL, yes or no? Completely up to you. I'm going to click no. And then you have some optional settings over here for the way it looks. The max length it can be, the size of it, etc. I leave those blank. Then you have this code right here. It says copy this code and put it to the form to the left. Okay, so we're going to copy this. Let's slide back over here. Now, where do you want the URL to be? I want it to be under their email address. So I'm going to make some space here. There we go. Okay, just like that. Now that should put the URL box under there. Now, back over here, it says when you put this code in the mail form. So we're going to copy this. Let's scroll down here. Now when they send the message, these are the next settings. When they actually send a message, you need to enter your email of where you want that message to go. So when they send that message up top, I'm going to receive their email here. Now over here to the right, this is what your message is going to look like. These fields are going to be automatically filled out from above. Their name's going to be put here, their subject is going to be put here, and their message body is going to be put here. Now, since I added the URL, I got to put that code here somewhere, wherever I want their URL to be. So I'm going to put it above the message. I'll put it in the message, below the message. Just like that. So now when they send me a message through my contact form, that's what it's going to look like. Okay, so let's check it out and see how it looks. Let me save this. Let's go back up here. Let me save that. Now you see this code here? We have to copy this code and put it wherever we want the contact form to appear. Okay, so it's simple. Let's copy that. Okay, I'm going back to my pages over here. I want to go to my contact page and paste it in my contact page. Click on my Contact Us page to edit it. And you simply just paste the code. Maybe. There we go. Just like that, I'm going to update this page. And then we're going to see what it looks like and make sure everything looks good. All right, here we are. Looking pretty good, right? We have our name, email, their website, subject, and message. Now let's send myself an email and just make sure it all looks good. Let's just check it out. All right, click on send. Oh, my URL is not valid. Oh, look at that. Oopsie. Let's try that again. Okay, your message was sent successfully, okay? So let's go back and check my email and see if it went through. Okay, and here we are inside of my Gmail, and as you can see, it went through good. It shows the name and their email. It shows their subject, the message body, and then their website URL. Okay, that's pretty cool, right? So you can customize that contact form any way you would like. As you can see, there are all kinds of options that you can include, file uploads, anything like that, and then you simply just contact the form code and paste it wherever you want. You can paste this in a post. You can paste this in your widget sidebar, in your pages, wherever you would like. A very essential plugin that everyone needs so they can get in contact with their visitors. Okay, so next up, it's very important that you keep track of your visitors and the people that come onto your website. You know, having a successful website, it's all about tracking. It's all about knowing how many people read your blog. It's about knowing how long they stay there, what pages they view, and that way you can test and see what's working on your site and what's not working on your site, okay? Now, the easiest way to do this is to install Google Analytics, okay? It's free. It keeps track of everything. It keeps track of how many visitors landed on your website, how long they stayed there, what pages they viewed. Just pretty much anything you can keep track of, they keep track of it. Now, to set this up, you need to head over to google.com/analytics, and I will have a link to this on the right-hand side, okay? It's free to sign up. You actually just log in with your Google account. If you already have a Gmail account, you just log in with that, okay? So if you already have one, you click sign in. If you don't, you can create an account. It's free. So I'm going to go ahead and sign in. All right, and this is the dashboard for one of my websites. I have this Google Analytics installed on one of my websites, and you can see it shows the visitors per day that I'm getting here. How many visits I had, how many of them were unique visitors, the average duration was 6 minutes, how many page views I've had, how many were new, just everything you can imagine. What, let's see here, what language they come from, the countries they come from, demographics, country, city, browser, just everything it keeps track of, okay? So you need to install this on your WordPress website, and it's really easy to do it. All right, so once you log in for the first time on this, it'll show you how to set up a website. If you already have one of these set up and you already have Google Analytics, then you already know how to set up a website. So once you get it set up, it's pretty simple. You just name it your website name. That's what I do. I name it my website name. And we're going to head back over here to our dashboard, okay? Now, what we're going to install is a plugin called Google Analyticator. Not only that's really a word, but that's what it's called, Google Analyticator. And I have a link to that on the right side as well. Now, when you install it, you go down here to Settings, and it should be here called Google Analytics. We're going to click on that. And this is the first screen that we see here. Just like this. All right. Now, the first screen you might see, it might ask you to link your Google account. If it does, just click on the button. It says click here, and it will ask you to sign into your Google account. And I've already done that, so it's not going to show me that. So to sign in, it's okay. And when you sign in, it's going to show a list of your sites here from your Google Analytics account. And as you can see, I have my affiliate freebie site set up for this site. So you're going to choose your website here. You want to enable this. Okay, so you enable that. You choose your website here. And then these various settings, I would just leave these the way they are. These are just tracking settings, and I wouldn't mess with those. All I'm curious about is how many visitors I'm getting, how long they're staying, just those basic settings that Google keeps track of anyways. All right, and you scroll down here to the bottom and click Save Changes. Okay, and now you can see it's activated. That red bar went away. So pretty cool, right? And now from now on, when you head back to your Google, your page here that you used will start updating. Every day you can come back and take a look, and you will start seeing your visitors. And they even have a real-time report. If we go over here, click on Real-Time Overview, and it gives you real-time if anybody's on your site right this second. It's going to show it here. That's going to be active right now if someone's on your website. It's pretty neat, right? And it'll show you what they're doing, how long they've been there. So you can keep track of that as well. You can keep track of everything inside of this dashboard once you install that plugin. Now, probably hands down, the best plugin I've come across for WordPress is Wordpress SEO by Yoast. Now, SEO, it's all about ranking your website and your posts and your pages in the search engines like Google and Yahoo and Bing. And that's really what it's all about, because you want people to find your website, right? You want people to search keywords and find your information if it's relevant, okay? Now this plugin, it's amazing, and it makes it really easy to have your site set up the way it needs to be for it to rank the easiest in the search engines, if that makes sense. Okay, so once you have it installed, you can get the link to it on the right. Once you have it installed, you have a button down here, SEO. We're going to click on that. The first screen here is your general page. Now, I don't mess with too many different settings on here, except for a few, okay? For one, go to the XML sitemaps, and you want to make sure that is checkmarked, and click on Save Changes at the bottom. Okay, a sitemap is a must-have for every website. A sitemap, pretty much, I'll show you what it looks like. It's not pretty to look at. All it is, it's a page on your website that has a link to every single page on your website, if that makes sense. It just shows every site. It just shows every page that's on your website. Now, this is a must-have for these search engines, okay? If a search engine can crawl your website and find your sitemap, then all your pages will get indexed, if that makes sense, okay? So you definitely want to have that turned on. And I don't change any settings inside of the SEO interface here. What I like about this plugin is when you create a new post or you create a new page, you actually have options now underneath the post. So let's go to my previous fighting game 101 tutorial post. Now under the option, under my post here, we have these options from that plugin. Check this out. It shows us what it looks like if someone sees our page or this post in Google. It shows us what it looks like. That's what it's going to look like. And that's pretty ugly if you ask me. All it says is my tutorials. It doesn't give you anything, right? So you can enter keywords here just for this post. You can enter keywords here that people can search on Google to find your post. That's pretty amazing, right? So you can enter keywords. You can enter a custom title. Maybe I don't like that title. I can enter a new title. And that's what it would look like. I can enter a description. Right? So you can customize it just for people looking at it in a search engine. You can customize the way that looks so it grabs somebody's attention from the search engine. That's pretty amazing if you ask me. Now let's add a keyword. Let's assume it was, let's do fighting game. Fighting games. Let's try that. And here's the sweet thing. When you enter your main keyword for this post, it's going to rate you and see if it's good or not. So based around the keyword fighting games, it tells me my article heading does not contain that keyword. My page title does not contain that keyword. My URL does not contain that keyword. My content doesn't contain that keyword. And my meta description doesn't contain that keyword. So in this case, if I was really trying to set this up, that would be horrible, right? That would be a horrible keyword. Or if that's the keyword I'm focused on, I need to change all of this to contain that keyword. Okay? So it's telling me right now, the way it's set up, that I'm not going to rank in Google for the keyword fighting games, right? Because none of that information, none of my page information contains that keyword. So it's telling me right now that it's horrible, and those all need to be yeses instead of nos. So let's see. I'm going to add it to my meta description and see if that changes to a yes. See, look at that. Yes, it automatically changed for me. So that's good. I would need to change my article heading as well. Page title. Yep, there. See, we're on the right track now. And that just gives you an idea of, if your page is optimized or not for your keyword. So it's pretty cool. The other tab we have here is the advanced tab. I wouldn't mess with this unless you're familiar with how meta robots work and things like that. But the basic settings here should be perfectly fine for you. Then you have a social tab. You can even add a description for Facebook and Google Plus in case someone comes to your website and they share this post on their Facebook or their Google Plus. That will automatically show this custom description you have here. That's pretty awesome, right? That's really descriptive and really customizable. Because usually when someone shares something on Facebook, the description is going to be the page description, whatever you have on your page. Well, that might not be good enough. Maybe you want a custom description just for Facebook users and a custom description just for your Google Plus users. So this plugin, every single post and every single page you make, you can customize it just like this and really optimize every single one for a certain keyword and optimize it to the fullest. A must-have and really amazing free WordPress plugin. Okay, so the next plugin that you need to have on your WordPress website actually comes preloaded and already installed on your WordPress website when you first install it. So that should tell you right there how awesome and how important it is. And basically this WordPress plugin, it's called WordPress Super Catch. And what that means, it's going to catch your website for you, okay? And what that means is when someone comes to your website and you have images and videos and your style sheets are all loading for them, it might take a little bit, a few seconds to load, perhaps. And when they come once, it's going to catch it for you. And pretty much what that means is when they come back, it's going to load a lot faster because your files are kind of stored on their computer in a certain way. So that means when they visit your website more and more, all your files are getting cached. And basically, it just helps your website load a lot faster, which is very important. No one wants to be on a slow website. So catching it makes it load faster and faster and faster. Okay, so that's really great. It's a really cool plugin. It comes preloaded, and you really don't have to change any settings, but we're going to go over it really quick anyways, just to make sure it's working okay on your blog. So if you go over here to settings, at the bottom you should see the WP Super Catch. We're going to click on that. Okay, and if we're on the Easy tab here, you just want to make sure that catching is turned on. Okay, and then we can test it. Let's make sure it's working okay. Alright, and it seems to be working okay for me. So your catching is working, it's activated, and that's really all you need to do with this plugin. If you try to test it and it's not working, you can go over here to Advanced and switch the catching mode here. If it's on the PHP, try switching it to the mod rewrite. If it's on mod rewrite and it's not working, switch it to the PHP, okay? Either one will be okay. And that's all there is to it. Make sure it's on, and then make sure you test it and it's working good on your server, and you're good to go. That means your WordPress website is going to be loading faster for all your visitors.